These are Sagan Classic. They're made of austere suede, which is a very particular type of suede. It's made from a lamb, and the particularity of this suede is that it's a stretchable suede. So the idea is that when you put your feet in, the leather would mold directly to your feet. So a lot of people assume that suede is more delicate than smooth leather, but in reality it's the exact same leather. It's just as sturdy. Instead of having to use waxes and everything, you can just brush off anything. The tassels are like, what's really nice is like they're hand rolled and hand stitched. So they have a really nice finish, just gives a little bit more of a decorative touch to your outfit. You can have them either with a grip like this or with just a full leather sole. The advantage of the grip is really for the city. Sometimes it can get a bit wet, so this adds a bit of like stability. The particularity of the inside of this leather is that it has a certain grain that doesn't chafe with your foot. We always make sure that the leather stands very naturally so that the moisture can go through it. So basically it doesn't have any coating on it, which means that when your feet start sweating, it will absorb the moisture and wake it out of the shoe. If these get completely soaked, the best way to get them to dry is actually to use the silk paper that was provided with the shoes. And then the best would be to put them on the side like this, so that the sole can also breathe. So these are the grands. These are made of French calf, which is a more traditional looking kind of leather. There's barely any finish on them. It's a very natural color, very natural kind of tannage. The grain of this leather is very, very small, which gives it that really luxurious look. What we did is we developed what's called a bridge lining. The parts that are most likely to hurt are actually without any constriction. This also helps with the flexibility of the shoe. So the idea is that you don't have as much breaking period. This was how we basically applied the concept of Sagan Classic into the ground. You can often moisturize it, so you just buy like a natural cream or like a black moisturizing cream. And you can do this as much as you want. It will just penetrate inside the pores. Then after moisturizing it, you can put wax, some polish. This will actually close the pores, which is what gives it its shine, and it will make it even more water repellent. So I would rarely recommend using shoe trees as soon as you remove your grands, because the shoe tree actually absorbs the moisture and just keeps them in shape. So contrary to the Sagan Classic, these are lined, and so it really helps even the sole staying much straighter to have the shoe tree. If you have walked in the rain, I would advise actually putting them like this for overnight so that the sole can also dry properly. It's much easier to polish a shoe that has a shoe tree in it, because you can just push the wax deeper into the pores when you have a structure inside. The stride is actually something we developed right after the Sagan Classic. The world was going a lot more casual, and so what we wanted to do is to keep our very iconic pattern and have something a lot more casual and a lot more practical. So the tread is made in a way that it actually grabs the floor texture, making it super secure. So when we developed the beat, the idea is that we wanted something that has a very flexible fitting. So there's actually 3 ways and 3 different fits for the beats, which means you can go really flexible on your size. You can actually go a size up, you can go a size down. You can use this insole, which is the one that's supplied with like as a standard, which is a very cushioned kind of walk. If this is a little bit too narrow, too tight, you have a slightly thinner insole. This is the shoe that has the most flexibility in the sizing, and you can wear it in the winter, in the summer, with thin socks, without socks, with thick socks. The soles are fully biodegradable, which means that if they go into a landfill, the sole will start decomposing after 6 months. So how to care for crocodile or alligator? These in particular are alligator. Alligator is actually the most sturdy of all the leathers. It's practically indestructible. It's the easiest actually leather to take care of. You literally just moisturize and wax it. There's actually a product called Reptan, which is a different type of moisturizer that is made specifically for alligator. But in general, any moisturizing and then any cream would be suitable for alligator. I would also recommend putting shoe trees in them when you store them so that they keep their shape really well.